Hello student, good afternoon. Today I will start the new topic, general characters of helminths and its classification. General characters of helminth and its classification. That is, the paper is 12 number, parasitology second, BSCTY zoology. Helminths constitute a large assemblage of worm of comparatively simple and varied organization. Helminths is derived from the Greek word helminths, means worm. Helminths means worm. The term worm is not correct because it is applied to elongated invertebrates without appendages and with bilateral symmetry. In 18th century of all the worms like animals were included in an old phylum, worms, described by Linnaeus in 1735. But this was a very heterogeneous group which included a highly diverse assemblage of forms. In the modern classification, this group is divided into several independent phyla such as Platyhelminthes, Helminthes, etc. The term helminths is restricted to a few phyla of invertebrates animals, all of which are superficially worms like, but they differ markedly in their morphology, life history, and bionomics. The helminths are restricted to two phyla of animal kingdom. These are Platyhelminthes or flatworms. Platyhelminthes or flatworms. Platyhelminthes means, in this Platyhelminthes phylum, three classes: Trematoda, Cystoda, and Turbellaria. Next phylum is Helminthes. Helminthes or Nemathelminthes or roundworms. Helminthes or roundworm. Phylum Platyhelminthes. First, we have to study the phylum Platyhelminthes. The term Platyhelminthes was proposed by Gegenberg in 1859. Means flatworms, which refers to their characteristics contour of flattened body. The term derived from two Greek words, platy means flat, platy means flat, helminths means worm or parasite. The animals show low organization. Animals show low organization as they are without anus, skeletal, respiratory, and circulatory system. The body is filled with mesenchymal cells, which are mesodermal in origin. Which are the mesodermal in origin. General characters of Platyhelminthes. Bilateral symmetrical body with dorso-ventrally flattened. Bilateral symmetrical body with dorso-ventrally flattened. Body generally shows anterior cephalization, that is differentiation of anterior region into head. Body generally worm like, either long flat ribbon shaped or lip like. The outline of body bizarre shaped in trematodes and segmented tape like body in cystodes. Segmented tape like body in cystodes. Most of the flatworms are of small to moderate dimension to size, varies from microscopic to the extreme elongation as much 10 to 15 meters. 10 to 15 meters. Flatworms are, length of flatworms are the 10 to 15 meters in length. General color creamy white, but on account of the presence of food the body may acquire color. Some of the free living flatworms are bilaterally colored, brilliantly colored, often brown, black and gray. Body with various types of attachment. Body with various types of attachment in the form of adhesive secretion, suckers and hooks. Suckers and hooks. Body consists of 3 embryonic layers. Body consists of 3 embryonic layers: ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. 3 embryonic layers, that is the ectoderm, mesoderm and ectoderm. In parasitic forms, the body is covered with a thick cuticle, but free-living turbellarians are clothed with cellular or syncytial epidermis. The exo and endoskeleton are completely absent. Exo and endoskeleton are completely absent. Therefore, the body is generally soft with hooks, spines, spicules and thorns. Body space is filled with a mesenchyma, that is parenchymatous tissue. Therefore, flatworms are coelomate, that is without coelom. Acoelomate, that is without coelom. That is without coelom, means coelom is absent. Coelomic cavity. The digestive system is generally absent in tapeworms and ocella, but in other consist of mouth, pharynx, variously modified intestine. Respiratory and circulatory system are absent, but some of the trematodes have systemic of tubes, the so-called lymphatic system of uncertain functions. The nervous system is of primitive type with missing of nervous tissue, as brain in anterior most region with several longitudinal ganglionated cord, numerous transverse connections. numerous transverse connections occurs between the longitudinal cord, so the nervous system is generally ladder like. Parasitic forms are without sensory organs. Parasitic forms are the without sensory organs, means sensory organs are absent, but free living forms are provided with sensory organs. Those animals, that is the free living, that animals having the sensory organs in the form of chemo and tango receptors, ciliated pits, statocyst and ocelli or eyes. Excretory system well developed with protonephridial tubules having flame bulbs or cells, but ocella are without protonephridia. Hermaphrodite rarely with separate sex. The eggs are generally devoid of yolk but with yolk cells. Varieties of copulatory organs are present. Cross fertilization and self fertilization both are common. Means hermaphrodite means both the reproductive system present in the same animals, that is called as monoecious or hermaphrodite in nature, that is trematoda, cystoda. Both the parasites are the hermaphroditic in nature. Development direct, that is without larval stage. Development direct, that is without larval stage, or indirect with larval stage. Life cycle complicated with succession of larval stages involving 1 to 3 intermediate hosts. Larval stages develop in the intermediate host and adult worm develop or live in the body of definitive host. Definitive host means that is the permanent host vertebrate. Asexual reproduction common among freshwater forms. Asexual reproduction common among the freshwater forms. Pathogenesis and polyembryonic common among trematodes and cystodes. Pathogenesis and polyembryonic common among the trematodes and cystodes. Both classes are the common, that is pathogenesis and polyembryonic process. Endogenous and exogenous budding common in tapeworms. Endogenous and exogenous budding common in tapeworms. Phylum Platyhelminthes is divided into 3 classes. The classification followed here is the form, that is the described by Hyman in 1951. This is the general characters of Platyhelminthes. Okay. Classification of Platyhelminthes will be start in the next period. Okay, thank you.